Hey everyone, I think we're live. I'm using the new Facebook Live producer, so seems to be working. We'll see. So I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to AskAmy. Um, Hope you're healthy and sane and doing as well as you can be right now. I have a question today from Monique. Monique says, as we go through hard times now with the COVID-19 virus spreading, how do I deal with not being able to help others in a way that I usually do? I can help them a bit, but I find it hard to know that I can't fix other people's pain or loneliness. So, Monique, I think this is a really great opportunity to look at that a little bit. When you say I can't fix your suffering because it feels like in the past you've been able to support people in a different way. It sounds like to you, it looks like you've been able to fix their pain or loneliness. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but I hear you that it seems like you've been able to go into someone who's suffering or lonely and be with them and support them in some way that you can't right now. And that's the case. There's things in the world that are not the way they were a month ago. But I really think this is an amazing opportunity for you to look at how you were actually helping all along, Monique, and not only at how you were helping other people, but how one is helped. Like, how do we help other people? Because I don't think you've ever been able to fix anyone's pain or loneliness. I don't know how you can, and I know maybe those are just words, and if you really look at it, it doesn't look that way to you either. But we can't fix a feeling. We certainly can't fix a feeling for another person, and we can't even fix a feeling for ourselves. Pain and loneliness and happiness and joy and peace and sadness and all of that, they're all just feeling moving through us. They're labels we give to energy moving through us. So there's not this thing called loneliness that needs to go in and get fixed, or this thing called sadness that needs to go in and get fixed. It's just fluctuations of energy moving through us that our mind labels and our mind calls these different emotions, but they're not fixable because they aren't broken. Like you don't need to fix something that's perfectly healthy and normal and okay and self-correcting, temporary and self-correcting. And that's what these fluctuations of energy moving through us truly are. There is no problem with them. We've just been kind of conditioned to think, oh, I don't like this one. I don't like, this is a bad feeling. This one's loneliness, or this one's fear, or this one's pain. And so we look out to try to get someone to do something, or for us to do something to make it end. And it never really works that way. Now, we have all kinds of superstitions built up that have it looking like it works that way. So you call a friend and suddenly you feel better and you say, oh, you're my friend. Thank you, friend. You fixed this for me. Well, your friend didn't fix anything for you. Your friend distracted you while the energy moved through you and changed on its own. And I think that's so huge to see, especially for someone like you, Monique, and everyone else listening who who is used to playing that supportive role, to being a support for people. It's not in the least to dismiss or you know say anything negative about the support that you do offer. You can offer amazing support just by being there for someone. It's helpful. But again, it's really helpful when we can see why we're helpful. Why we're helpful is that human to human, you're just another human being there witnessing the same human experience that you've had many times, that we all share. We all have the same recycled, shared human experience because really we are one human. But in our separateness, we've all felt all of this. So when we're there with another human being, just being with them, it kind of distracts them from their, oh no, I'm feeling this. It's this problem. I need help. I need it fixed. It just calms them a little bit. And that allows for everything that already always was going to move through them to just move through that much more easily and simply. So our role is not as helpers, as support for anyone in our lives, is not really how it seems. We aren't doing it. We aren't doing it. Now, you're right, Monique, that in many ways right now we can't. be in the world or support people in exactly the way that we used to. It might look different. You might not rush to their side and be with them or take them out to a movie or go sit on their couch with them or something. But again, those things were never it to begin with. So when we start to back up and really look at how we do support each other and how to be with other people in a way that is ultimately most helpful, nothing has changed. It was never about being by their side. It was never about being in person with them. It was never about anything you did or said. It it was it was just being with a person so that their natural health, their natural resilience can rise up and do what it already was going to do anyway, just a little more easily with you there. So the piece in this that I think is just incredibly important for us to see is the resilience. Nothing needs to be fixed. No loneliness or pain needs to be fixed because none of that is problematic. We just think it is. And so we get caught up in it. But look at the resilience in the people that you're worried about. You're worried thinking, oh no, they're feeling this, they're feeling that. Meanwhile, you're feeling that because you're thinking about it for them, right? You're all caught up in that. You're worried that they're in pain, right? So you're feeling it, and you and them and all of us, such resilience. We can feel hard stuff. We can feel stuff we don't like, and it is designed to move through us. Like resilience is not a trait we have. It's a feature of the design of all human beings. Everything moves through and we are left in perfect health. Our mental health, our psychology cannot be damaged. Like what's beyond that cannot be damaged. So by design, there's just huge resilience there. And when it comes to supporting people who aren't feeling that, the best thing I've ever seen is to see that in them for them. Like they don't see their resilience. They don't see that they're still okay. But when you see that for them, you see that in them and you can reflect that back to them, even if you don't reflect it back, even if you just sit there and don't say a word, but you know they're okay. Oh my gosh, Monique, like that is way more helpful than thinking that you're there to fix something for them, or that you're there to change something for them. It's a completely different level of support and helpfulness. So I just spent the past 3 days with my coaches who I'm training, and everything we do is aimed at seeing the health in the people that we're working with, seeing that they have every single thing they need, not getting caught up in their story, in their suffering, acknowledging it, like loving them through it, seeing, yeah, me too. I've felt all that too. We've all shared all these human experiences, but knowing that it's just an experience moving through and seeing how incredibly healthy and resilient they are, it changes everything. It changes the way you see them, which changes the things you do and say and the ways you interact and all of it. I mean, it's all based on what we see about the person we're in front of that we're trying to support. So, not being able to rush to someone's side and fix something, Monique, may be the best thing that ever happened to you and the level of support that you're able to give. Honestly, it may be. And I just want to say one more thing about, and this is just something I heard and kind of, I just heard it. You didn't say it necessarily, Monique, but the way you asked your question made me think of something around, you said, I can't support them like I used to because I can't go fix their pain. And it brought up something interesting in terms of what we see about other people's pain. Now, for sure, someone might call you and say, I'm really struggling. I need some support. Okay, they're really struggling. Again, I see your health. I know you're fine. I know you're just feeling some stuff, and I'll sit with you as you feel that stuff as it moves through you. But there's this way in which we tend to get really caught up in other people's pain um, and their fear and their struggles at times. And a lot of what's happening there is we're feeling it and kind of putting it on them. And I think this is happening a lot right now, especially when people are alone. We don't know. We don't see them smile and bounce back and be resilient. We just know, oh, so and so is, in self isolation in their house for 2 weeks and they don't seem to be doing well. No, our mind will just take that and run with it and create all kinds of feelings that we end up feeling and all kinds of stories and all kinds of images about what they must be going through. But just be careful of that, all of us, especially at this time. Be careful of that. We never know what someone else is feeling, good or bad. We don't know. And very often, coming from a very well-meaning place, we project all of our stuff onto them and we assume they're doing so bad. Or even again, if they tell us they tell us they're having a hard time, our mind just sees that as, wow, they're depressed and they're this and they're that. And and just know, again, it's tied in with seeing the design and the resilience and the health in every single person, that even people who are going through a super hard time, they get distracted from their own mind. And when they do, they feel better. That things are constantly shifting within them. And when they are, they feel better. And they might not recognize that. And they might not talk about it and voice it so much because we're sort of conditioned to look at the problem and hold on to that until it's fixed. But when we can see, oh, wow, there's actually movement here. And I did feel okay for a bit, or I have had moments of peace or whatever. When we see that that's how humans work, we get to reflect that to them. And then they notice that it's already been happening that way for them forever. It always has. But without the eyes to see it, we sort of miss it. So, Monique, keep looking toward this understanding for yourself, first and foremost, because that will help everyone around you. It will help you be the best support that you can be for everyone in your life. And for all of us, keep looking at the resilience. It's amazing. It's amazing. I just recorded a podcast this morning with someone, and we were talking about how for us it's been 2 weeks complete lockdown. For him, it's been 1 week, but how in just a couple days, in such a short period of time, it's like our mind will say, I can't handle that. I can't have that. Oh, this is going to feel horrible. But that's not our experience. Honestly, it's what a mind will swear is going to be the case. But we're too resilient for that. We suffer a little bit, maybe. You worry a little bit, maybe. But then so much, like, we just adapt. We just get on board, and we don't do it, but everything in us, everything in our design just gets up to date and on board with how things are now. And you come back to your home base. You really do, regardless of what's going on out there. It's amazing to see. And this is a prime time to see it taking place all over. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Monique, for your question. I really hope this has been helpful to you. And send your questions to AskAmy at thelittleschoolofbigchange.com. And I'll see you back here next Monday.